Greetings, everyone, and welcome. It is April the 30th evening update. And as you can see by the thumbnail, we're going to talk about something that is very serious, videos that are coming out that will confirm this over the last 24 hours. One of them just dropping from Shoigu himself, and I have Putin and others. It's going to be quite an adventure over the next 10, 11, 12 minutes or so. Thank you for being here, sharing, commenting, liking, subscribing, turning the bells on, all of those things. Let's jump right to it. You can see the title, Putin's number one weapon against the United States, against Ukraine, against the rest of the free world, and it is working. And to be honest, it's pretty much unstoppable. You can see Vladimir Putin there with the strings and Uncle Sam with the red eyes, classified. The reality is we have a lot more understanding over the last couple of days as to what is really happening on the propaganda front, why Donald Trump is so under the spell of Vladimir Putin. And I'm going to validate it for you. In addition to that, show you some of the other narratives that are just pure evil and what is fueling the MAGA fire against Ukraine. So here we go. Look forward to your comment. Thank you for liking, subscribing, bells on, all of those things, helping us grow so that we can share more of the truth with the world. We'll start right here. I'm going to teach it to you tonight the best I can and as respectful as I can, just in like an order. Okay. So Vladimir Putin, he's in Volgograd. And then he's in Moscow. He's speaking with all these kids. He's doing all of these meetings, and I'm going to show you all of this. But what happens is a representative of Volgograd, of the airport there, which is the former city Stalingrad, comes to Vladimir Putin and asks him a question. You need to see this first. Everyone asks me to come to you, Vladimir Vladimirovich, to ask to support the proposal to change the airport and give it a real proud, courageous, and heroic name, Stalingrad Airport. Please support this. Well, who asked you to do this? The community of veterans and participants of the special war operation. Well, for me, their word is law. Let's do it. And as soon as I return to Moscow, I will immediately prepare and sign the relevant document on the airport, and I'll rename it the Stalingrad Airport. Thank you very much. Thank you. Oh, yeah. As soon as I get back to Moscow, I'm going to sign the document, and we're going to rename that Volgograd Airport Stalingrad. Why? Because any soldier, any veteran, their word is law to me. This is what he does. But see, at the same time, he is seeing things like this. Donald Trump's interview in the Atlantic magazine, I run the country and the world. It's just a quote, guys. It's in the interview in the Atlantic magazine. Donald Trump believes he's invincible. But the cracks are beginning to show. This is a piece by Ashley Parker and Michael Scherer. Of course, this is after the fallout from the White House debacle, which you'll hear more about in a minute. And Trump basically said, I'll just shut the Atlantic down. Not only has he not shut it down, he's actually being interviewed by them and telling them and the world how great he is because he runs the country and the world. But see, this is what Putin sees. It's like they're playing this game with each other. They can talk about any saving lives. We're doing this for righteousness and truth, and both of them are lying and smiling at you at the same time. That's just it. They don't care about life. That's the truth. They care about money, and they care about their reputation and their legacy, and that is it. This is why you see things like, I'm going to go get Greenland. You know what, Canada, you're going to become the 51st state. Oh, Elon Musk today on the 100-day meeting with all of the cabinet there, he's wearing the Gulf of America hat. What is all this? People wonder, okay, that's lunacy. Even people on the conservatives and the Republicans go, what on earth is he doing? What he is doing is he is trying to emulate this. He's trying to emulate, honestly, his hero, Vladimir Putin. How can you look at it any differently? The statements, the shock, all of that comes out. Why? Because he's seeing what Putin does. Let's take it a step further. Here's Putin speaking with some kids he had just spoken to. Now, this voiceover is solid, but you'll just have to catch it. He's talking back and forth to these kids about not only naming the airport Stalingrad, but let's go ahead and change the name of the city, Volgograd, back to Stalingrad. Here you go.
I'd like to thank you on behalf of all Stalingrad for renaming our city. The city airport. Airport. I got confused. I'm from Volgograd. I understand. Do you think the city should be renamed? Yes. It's tied to deep history and we'd all be very happy about it. Thank you very much. As a Volgograd resident, I agree with this. You too, right? Yes. Well, of course it's more iconic. In many European countries, they didn't rename squares or avenues. Despite poor relations, there are still Stalingrad streets and squares. I remember a shop near the Reichstag on May 9th, 2007. They asked me, where are you from? I said, Volgograd, the city of Stalingrad. Of course, instantly recognizable, I understand. But the residents should decide. Well, we should ask the residents.
Well, let's ask the residents. You see, this is why. He's going to, listen, it'll happen. The kids are wanting it. I'll ask the residents of Volgograd. And sure, ladies and gentlemen, put it in the books. Not only the airport, but now Volgograd is going to be renamed to Stalingrad. It gives you insight now back why Musk is wearing Gulf of America hat. Trump going to take Greenland. And Canada, you're the 51st state. Do you see the similarities? I mean, it's undeniable. It's absolutely undeniable similarities. Now, listen to Putin at the same meeting before he came out and talked with the kids about renaming Volgograd to Stalingrad. He's sitting there talking to them about Russian values. What matters is there have always been people who shared and share our principles today, our values, people who are with us. And today, some French citizens, together with our fighters, they're fighting in the special military operation shoulder to shoulder with our soldiers. They even have called their unit like their grandparents and great-grandparents, Normandy Niemann. Holy moly, Normandy. The French, they're fighting with us. So now we've got French fighters fighting with the North Koreans, fighting with the Chinese, fighting with the Russians, fighting with those that are mercenaries from Africa and Asia. Oh, yeah, okay. But you know what? If one boot gets on Ukrainian ground, then that's a target. I mean, come on. But what's more importantly there is it's about the values. And now he's touting about the values of the French fighters that have came and they've come for and to stand with what is right. This tells you why. You can learn all about the propaganda. It's working. Now, ladies and gentlemen, it's all the same. Two more video clips to share with you. And they're both absolutely disgusting. Unfortunately, I have to show you a Tucker Carlson, Trader Carlson video because he says the same thing that the guy on the left, Shoigu, says. You know, Shoigu was moved from the Supreme General of the Armed Forces to the Supreme Security Administrator of the Russian forces. It's no different. Shoigu's there to stay. Shoigu's one of Putin's very, very best buddies. Tucker Carlson talking with Kelly, Megyn Kelly, I think her name is, the same exact trash. And I remind you, this man has the ear of Donald Trump and all of those other very unqualified people that are circled around him. Okay, Marco Rubio qualified? Yeah, he's qualified, got a 99-0 vote, but he's sure doing a poor job. So he's disqualifying himself, if I could make that statement, among many others. Pete Hegseth, all he wants is a makeup room and a bottle of gin. I mean, come on, that's the defense minister of the United States of America. That is why I've got Uncle Sam with the red eyes. The propaganda is winning, and they are melting us, and I'm an American, on the inside. So here, let's go to Tucker Carlson. You need to hear it. Don't turn the video off. You need to hear this because this is what Ukraine is fighting. Disgusting.
I haven't spoken to you publicly since then. What did you think of the scene with JD and Trump and Zelensky in the Oval?
Well, I thought it was amazing. I mean, I'm frustrated because I think that Zelensky is an enemy of the United States. And I think his government has tried to assassinate a number of people. I don't think that I know that, including some people who are well known on the conservative side. So I think it's a really, really dark government. It's banned the largest Christian denomination in Ukraine that has sold a lot of the weapons that we have sent them to all kinds of dark groups, including Hamas and the Mexican drug cartels. Like, I think it's an outlaw government that does not represent Ukrainians. He's not an elected president. He has no moral claim to run that country at all. So, I'm always a little distressed when he's treated as a legitimate president, which he's not. But, that said, he was in the Oval. Like, that was not, I didn't have any control over any of that. I didn't want him to be in the Oval in the first place. Like, hey, why don't you stand for election? And when you win, then we'll treat you like a head of state. But you're not a head of state because he's not. So that's my personal view. But given that, I was thrilled to see Donald Trump. I think that was genuine peak. Like, we just sent you billions and billions of dollars. You stole a lot of it. How many houses do you have, Zelensky, by the way? Do you have a house in Miami? Do you have one in France? Like, what? Let's actually do an audit of your personal finances and of Budanov and all the people around you, and let's find out where the money went.
Hello, seriously? In 80 seconds, you can spew out you're an enemy. You're an enemy of America. You're dark. You're illegitimate. You're a weapons dealer, dealing to Hamas and the cartels of Mexico. You're not elected. You are a thief, a bandit, and you have houses in Miami and France. In about 80 seconds. Who do you think's winning the propaganda war? That dude walks around the White House and Kelly there. What do you think about the Oval? Like it's a joke. It is a joke to them. It's disgusting. These people have access, especially Tucker, right to the inner circle. And this is what he is spewing. It's nothing but the same thing that Shoigu is spewing in Solovyov. You could see the video there, Solovyov live at the top. It's on the propaganda networks, which on the earlier video today, if you didn't see that, go back a few hours, Peskov saying, hey, our greatest warriors are Solovyov and Margarita Simonyan because they're propagandists. It's a propaganda war. Just openly saying it. Openly ripping it. Okay, you want Shoigu? Here he is.
Western states are increasingly using terrorist groups to further their geostrategic goals. Primarily, this is to confront countries that don't accept their dominance. Terrorists are given modern weapons, advanced surveillance and reconnaissance equipment, and supplied with intelligence. The most glaring example is Ukraine. The Kiev regime uses NATO weapons to shell residential areas, commit sabotage and political assassinations, and uses civilians as human shields. Realizing that Russia's armed forces have the strategic initiative on the ground, Ukraine's criminal leadership has resorted to terrorist methods.
There you have it, ladies and gentlemen. It may have been Tucker Carlson sitting there and he's sitting with Kelly. Assassinations, using foreign intelligence to wipe out Russia, illegitimate terrorist regime. It's the same narrative. It's the same talking points. And that is why I completely stand behind this thumbnail tonight. Right now, they're unstoppable. They are unstoppable in that propaganda war. Uncle Sam with red glowing eyes. Why? Because they believe everything that's coming out of the Kremlin. And I hope over the last 12 or 13 minutes, I've been able to validate that for you. It's so easy to see. But we will continue to fight against it. We will continue to stand for what is right. I want to thank you for being here. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for commenting. I look forward to reading the comments tonight and replying. You guys are the best, and we are doing our part. You're doing your part, and together we make a strong and mighty team, sharing truth and fighting for what is right. Before we go out of here, how about one more webcam into Red Square, where they're preparing for Victory Day. Here, ladies and gentlemen, practicing the Russian military. there you go, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you. Hey, lots of things unfolding right now. I have a ton of news over here to my right to work through, and we'll be back at you soon. Be blessed.